Greetings, fellow Earthlings. Today is November 11th, 2024. It's 11:11, and this is episode 42 of MindMosaic. So, as you may or may not know, this month we've been exploring the subject of language, but we've been exploring it in a deeper way. And today I want to talk about the power of words themselves and how words can shape and transform not just ourselves and our own minds, but also society and even like reality itself. So words are so much more than just sounds. They are like spells. I mean, we call it spelling for a reason. Language manifests. It holds the power to manifest. It's what it does best. It's like letters and words, they're like seeds almost. And they can drift through the wind and they can take root and integrate themselves into the substrate of society and make an impact. They can grow and change and evolve over time, and they behave in a way that is not unlike a living organism. The only difference is that they are the manifestations of the will rather than the result of biological processes. These are the life forms that we create through our thoughts. Language is our magic. It is like an invisible thread that connects ideas with reality and connects the intangible with the tangible. It is the channel through which we are able to express our own consciousness, which is something that is so subjective. But through language, we are given the opportunity to make it known to others. And that is an incredibly powerful thing. For instance, this idea, this concept in and of itself might not even have arrived at you if not for these words that I'm speaking right now. So this is kind of a proof of concept in and of itself, because the fact that you understand me, the fact that you're able to process and interpret what I'm saying and glean some kind of meaning from it is proof of the very nature of what I'm saying. It's kind of actually an interesting thing to think about. Every conversation, every song, every whispered promise holds the power to reshape the landscape of human experience. It is a personal transformation that happens when we understand and interpret the meaning behind words. Now, something I really want to stress here is the absolute power of words, and to be very conscious of the words that we speak, because words, the language itself is it's a tool. And when we speak, every time we speak, we are the architects of the mind and the soul. This is words and ideas communicated through language are what the very foundational substrate that shapes culture itself. Everything grows out of this base foundation of language. It is the consensus of understanding what things mean and how we interpret our own reality, our own existence. It is through words. And so words, they are so much more powerful than we think. Words aren't just like, you don't just throw them around willy-nilly. I mean, you can. You're welcome to. But to do so is to, I think, waste the opportunity of what potential language holds. Words, they are conduits of the unseen. They are bridges between worlds. And our ancestors knew this, long before the printed word. There were stories, there were chants, there were songs that shaped the hearts of our forefathers. It shaped the very definition of what it means to be human. This is something that came from us speaking, from making noises that hold meanings within them. And really, this is, people talk about, the frequency of language and and this and that. And well, there might be some truth to this idea of frequencies shaping reality. I think a much more grounded way of understanding this is the simple, undeniable fact that this concept has found its way to you through words. That's absolutely incredible. Like that in and of itself, you now have an understanding of the power of words because of words. I don't know if that's just like obvious and, sounds stupid. Maybe it's obvious. I don't think it sounds stupid because I think the depth of that truth requires some pondering in order to uncover and reach that level to where you can see how insane that is. So that's kind of what I'm getting at, and that's what I want you to take home with you, is to imagine a world where we understand deeply the power of words. And we know that with each word we speak, that word carries the potential to transform someone's mind, to ignite someone's heart, to change the world. I'm serious. And the beautiful thing about words and the power of language is found in its subtlety, I think. Because, language is such an immensely powerful force, but it is not forceful in the way that we typically understand power. It is gentle. It is subtle and devious almost. It doesn't charge through barriers. It gradually erodes the unstable foundations upon which they are built through logic and inquiry and knowledge, wisdom, understanding. It is a force that breaks through barriers because it is the realization of transcending those barriers. And that is the power of language. It sculpts reality gently. What I wanted to do with this video is to say the same thing again and again in many different ways. Because ultimately, this idea is very simple. It could be put as simply as language has the power to transform existence. And it sort of, again, ties back into itself because that's what language is. You have a concept that is abstract, intangible. It exists within the mind. And then in order to express that, you need to sort of build this artifice of symbols around it. But the reason why I am choosing to format this video in this way is because for you to truly understand what I'm saying is to understand that this truth cannot be said in one way. It is a truth that must be articulated in many different ways. Abracadabra, I think, is a beautiful word because it is, of course, the word that is typically associated with magic. But it is a word that is ancient. Like, I believe it's like an ancient Hebrew word that translates to I create what I speak. And that is magic. So I think the final thing that I want to leave you with, I know this has been a short one, but I feel like I've said everything I really need to say in this one, is the idea that to understand the power of language is to understand that each of us carries our own magic. And it is a magic that can literally change the world with nothing more than a word. So, with that said, abracadabra, and I will see you later. Enjoy the rest of your week, Earthlings. And yeah, just enjoy it, I guess.